What's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode, and we are here for the Belgian Grand Prix, a very wet Belgian Grand Prix, and right now intermediate conditions on the circuit as the rain is falling here in the forest. But first of all guys, a massive thank you for the support on the last few episodes, and especially the last one. You guys really enjoyed that, and it's great to see. And we're over 70 episodes in now, and so much support for this series. So obviously the support has dwindled down slightly compared to when the game first came out, but that is obviously to be expected. But still, a massive thank you for you guys for the great support. And jumping into Friday practice here for this race weekend, you can see it's actually dried out, and then we move on to the one of the tests, and look at this, absolutely fantastic slide, absolutely 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Great little back end slide there, and that would actually see us complete the fuel test, because that was actually basically just one of them laps where I was like trying to find the limit of the track, and I pretty much did a good job of finding that limit, and that was actually a very satisfactory slide that I hooked up. But you will notice, like I said before, it was wet at the start and then obviously dry. It sort of transitioned very quickly into dry conditions, and then eventually we would end up finishing the session in doing the qualifying performance test, having to overtake Julian Palmer right at the death there. And also the session actually finished, so bang on the clock. We're going to cross the line, and the last lap of practice will be mine, and that lap will be good enough for first place. So overall, a successful practice session, and a bit of everything really, to be honest with you. But if we now move into after practice, you can see that we've got a new rival, and long and behold, surprise, surprise, it's the Iceman Kimi Räikkönen. So we've got our work cut out. Obviously, we beat Vettel in our last rivalry, as you would have seen in the last episode. So now we've got a new rival in the form of his teammate Kimi Räikkönen, who, even though technically in terms of the game itself, he's over 40 years of age, he's driving as if he's in his prime in 25 years of age. So Räikkönen as strong as ever. But now, jumping into Q1, you can see that it's actually super soft compound tyres on the car, slightly slow compound. Also, the rain is coming down here because I've actually gone out early in Q1, very early actually indeed. And the reason I've done this is because to obviously avoid the rain, and luckily we set a lap. It wasn't great though, and we scraped through in 13th place, which is something that doesn't happen too often. But a little bit under pressure there in Q1, but eventually we would scrape through. And then in Q2, it was wet at the start, but then it dried out at the end, so basically the opposite of Q1. And we opted for the ultra soft compound tyres, and a very good lap actually. And we're going to come through the final chicane now, open up DRS, and we're going to come across the line. And Perez for some reason set a bit of a glitch lap time, like 2 seconds faster than anybody else. So I don't know what happened there, but P4, and that's going to see us through comfortably into the final part of qualifying into Q3. But as you can see, just to confirm, Perez there, really weird lap time, 1.4 faster than Ocon, and then Ocon faster than Vettel, and Vettel faster than myself. So Perez obviously finding some sort of exploit or something on the track there. But now jumping into Q3, and this was my best lap of the session now. So into the first corner, La Source, you want to brake just after the 100-meter ball down to third gear. And then it's very important they pick up the traction, and then you go down the hill, let the car do the work for you, go through the gears, and obviously into Eau Rouge, flat out through here. This is Eau Rouge, and obviously then you got Radio, which is sort of left-hand kink, and then pretty straightforward in these 2017 cars, especially because the regulations and also the R&D is so advanced now in this crew. We're getting a lovely little slipstream off of Massa there, and braking hard just after the 100-meter board for Les Combes here. Really nice section, this one, getting the nose tucked in nicely, and then getting a good exit out of Malmedy, using all of the track and then some. As we now go down into turn 8 and to Ravage, the most understeery corner that I know of in F1, very tricky corner to keep the nose in, and then through turn 9, which doesn't have a name as far as I know. Very nice run through there, and we've got Nico Hulkenberg here just causing a bit of dirty air, turbulent air, which isn't ideal as we go into Pouhon, a track where a corner where you really need the front end of the car, and Hulkenberg doing me no favours there. Eventually though, he pulls over to the left hand side just about, but definitely I think a tenth and a half there must have been left on the table because of the dirty air. I could have carried so much more speed through Pouhon there, but now through Stavlo number 1, very nice run through there, probably got the power a little bit too late, and we've actually dropped a couple of tenths in the middle sector, so we've got to try and pull that back in the final sector. Now a few minutes left to go, the big boys are yet to do their ultimate lap time, so this might not be our final position, but we have to wait and see, because you never know, it might actually turn out to be the best lap of the session. So here we go now, through flat out through Blanchimont, and for the bus stop, spot the 100-meter board, down to third gear, and really attack the curbs through here, really try and gain some lap time, and then critically get perfect traction on the exit, open up with DRS, we clatter the walls slightly on the right hand side, which costs us about half a tenth or a tenth, and we still go faster, so very good final sector there, but eventually people would improve elsewhere. Sebastian Vettel pulls an absolute worldie out the bag, just like Räikkönen in the last race in Hungary, and is 3 tenths clear of Lewis and half a second clear of myself, and A very, very incredible lap, and I forgot to mention Raikkonen got knocked out in Q2. If he did miss it, then I do urge you to just go back on the video. But Raikkonen actually got knocked out in Q2, getting caught out by the weather conditions. So we've got a huge advantage going into the race tomorrow with Kimi starting way down the order. So hopefully we can have a good race. But that was the story of qualifying on Saturday. We're now going to move into Sunday for the race, so round number 12 for the Belgian Grand Prix. Right, so here we are then on the grid for the Belgian Grand Prix. P3 and Sebastian Vettel takes pole position. Luckily though, and crucially for us, Kimi Raikkonen is outside of the top 10. However, the good news for him is he's got a free tyre strategy to choose from. So he could potentially go on a different strategy. And I'll show you the race strategy in a moment because there is an option here. And an actual benefit of starting outside the top 10. But also, just to point out, obviously, Hamilton on the front row. And the plan basically in this race, especially into turn 1, is to just try and stay out of any sort of incidents. We've got the cushion and we've got a nice comfortable gap over Raikkonen. So these two in front of me aren't really a challenge. So I'm more than happy for them to do what they've got to do. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind winning this race to try and extend my leading the World Drivers' Championship even more. But like I said, we're going to take it easy into the first corner and not take any unnecessary risks. But now, in terms of the race strategy, as you can see right now on screen, very interesting because actually, you can see right now, I've actually changed my strategy. Originally, in the middle stint here, I was basically told to go onto the soft compound tyre. Now, that seemed a bit extreme to me, so I've modified it to a double super soft. And apparently the ultra soft only lasts like 3 or 4 laps, so we'll see how it goes. The tyre seems pretty extreme here compared to last season, so we've got to see how it goes. Really, I don't trust this too much, so I'm just going to sort of basically go in blind and see how the tyre wear is. But if the strategy is true, if Raikkonen was to start on a super soft and then switch over to a soft compound tyre, or vice versa, he could potentially just do a one-stop race, which would give him a whole pit stop advantage. So Raikkonen could be a threat in this race. Like I said, in the last race, if you remember the last race in Hungary, he did that major undercut just by literally doing a different strategy out of nowhere. So Raikkonen could be a threat, but like I said, we're going to control the race, stay out of incidents and do our thing, and respond to pace if necessary. So overall, that's the introduction. We're now going to move into round number 12 of the season for the Belgian Grand Prix. Right then, here we go. We're going to gear up to the 5 red lights for the Belgian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go, and it's a good launch off the line from us actually, and a pretty poor start from Lewis Hamilton as we go into turn 1. Vettel has had a very good start. He's going to hold the lead into turn 1 here. Hamilton's going to go around my outside and retake second place. Ocon meanwhile in 4th place just behind us there, and Perez goes side by side with Grosjean, but we're going to go single file here through Eau Rouge. And now with the brand new power unit in the back of my car, I've got a little bit more straight line speed here, and I'm going to make the move on Hamilton, and I'm going to make a move on Vettel I think as well. Look at the straight line speed, oh my days, overdrive, and the overspeed absolutely massive here. And we're going to pull to the right hand side to avoid getting a slipstream, as Hamilton also makes the move on Vettel, and there you go, just like that, silver arrow 1-2, and I'm in the lead of the race, which I was not really expecting, but there you go, the engine power just really kicked in there, and that is what you see around these sort of tracks. The Mercedes really showing what it's all about, also running slightly lower aero than I normally would, which would also increase my straight line speed quite a lot. But overall, what a start to the race, and incredible stuff. I wouldn't mind letting Hamilton through just like in the last one if he has to win the race, because I want him to get a good result, but I won't make it super easy for him like in the last one. He'll have to pass me properly, so let's see how this all unfolds. It looks like Vettel and the Four Seniors have got into a holy battle behind us there, and they've dropped off massively, so just myself and Lewis here leading the charge and pulling away in formation, and Lewis is pretty damn quick, so I might even let him through now that we've got a cushion to the cars behind. My only issue is if he's not fast enough, then I might have to re-overtake him, but I think he's got the pace to be honest, so we'll probably look for a space to let Hamilton through and let him try and win the race, because I want us to win the Constructors' Championship. I mean, that's a big aim of ours, and to stop the Ferrari dominance. So here we go into the bus stop, just trying to get also down. So far, off to a good start. Ocon is definitely holding Vettel, and the Four Seniors look really quick around here. Like, they look on the money, and definitely very, very impressive as we set a fast up of the Grand Prix. Hamilton is sniffing all over me, and DRS is now enabled, so this could get interesting, as Hamilton obviously is within range, so he could be making the pass on me fairly simply. So if he does make the move, like I said, I'm not going to get in his way too much, and I'll make it fairly simple for him, but also he has to commit to the move. So let's see, going up the hill now, it is close, but is he within range? We'll have to wait and see. There he goes, he's opened up the DRS. Is he going to go for the move? He's just not gaining. I'm actually pretty good in a straight line. I've got some very good aero on my car, and Hamilton's not close enough to make the move yet. Okay, Lewis comes in. That's a very early stop, so Lewis probably going for the undercut sort of strategy, so that's very interesting. He's the only man to pit this early, so we'll see how that one pans out. Ocon sets the fastest up of the Grand Prix, and then Raikkonen responds, so Raikkonen can't be that far down the road because he's only just crossed the line. So Raikkonen making big movements here in this first part of the race, and like I said, Hamilton the only man to pit. It's a very early stop, so let's see how this all pans out. I'm not going to come in just yet. I mean, my tyres they're going off, but they're not going off that badly, so we've probably got 1 or 2 more laps left in these yet. Okay, wow, Raikkonen's into 3rd place on soft compound tyres. That is incredible, and he did a 48 dead on soft compound tyres. I know you might have some DRS assistance, but even still, that is a ridiculous lap time from Raikkonen, and he's got some extremely quick pace around here. So we've got to be careful. We've got to be very wary of him this race because he could be a major threat. And I think based off of his tyres, he is going for that one-stop strategy. So we've got our work cut out this race to try and respond. Right, here we go. Then we're going to come into the pit lane for my first stop of the race. Raikkonen's probably going to inherit the race lead because Ocon's going to follow me in here. So this is going to get very interesting. Now let's see what Raikkonen's pace is on the overcut running those soft compound tyres. So look at that, a 47.8. Unbelievable pace from Kimi Raikkonen there. So can't describe like what's going. I mean, in Hungary, the Ferraris. I remember also in Silverstone in the race in the wet, Ferrari were just flying. And then also in Hungary, I mean, the qualifying lap Raikkonen dropped. I remember still that 16 dead was absolutely ludicrous, and he's still setting good pace here, like a ridiculous lap time. So we'll have to see how that one pans out. But here we go. We're going to rejoin neck and neck with Lewis here. Lewis on the soft compound tyre. We're going to be just ahead, so we've managed to stay ahead of Lewis here. And now we've got to run on Kvyat. The issue is we've got to get out the throttle here because we're being held up, and we're just going to have to pull to the left-hand side to make the move on the Russian. We've got DRS though, and we're going to pull to the inside, and Hamilton's going to follow me through here. But interesting strategy. Hamilton going for the one that the team also recommended to me at the start of the race, but because I've stayed out 2 more laps on my ultra softs, I should be able to make this super soft strategy work now. But now it's time to pump in the laps because I think Raikkonen could be on a one-stop strategy. Raikkonen, another fastest lap, 47.7 here. We're catching up to Lance Stroll. We're going to go for a lunge on the brakes, using up the fresh tyres and the fresh rubber to make the move on Lance Stroll. He's going to hold the inside. I'm just going to go and cruise around the outside because of the extra grip that I have on these. And there we go. Now we've got a little bit of clean air for this lap. It's time to really push and get the hammer down. Right, there we go, 47.2, responding to Raikkonen's pace. It's only 2/10 faster than Raikkonen though on these super softs, which are fresh, but still, we've got to be faster than him, and that's what we're doing here. Also, now I'm cropping traffic here. We're going to have to try and make the move on Carlos Sainz, and we've got to try and pass him before Eau Rouge. We're going to dip into the rich mix to try and get past him. We're going to be side by side to Eau Rouge. I'm just going to go around the outside, and we've got a huge run on Jolyon Palmer as well. Fly past him, look at the overspeed we've got, and open up the DRS just for good measure. And there we go, we've pretty much cleared that traffic in pretty efficient fashion now. Now we can go chase after Daniel Ricciardo. Another fastest lap, just keeping the pace consistent. Got to be quick every single lap here. Okay, my pace is still consistent, low 47s, but these guys on the soft compound tyres, I mean, their lap times are good. I mean, Ricciardo's doing a good job of staying ahead of me here. I mean, I'm just about going to get within DRS, I reckon, but Ricciardo's doing a very good job of setting some very good consistent lap times here and staying ahead of me. Right, we're going to get a huge run on Ricciardo here. You can really notice the difference in the power unit, and Ricciardo's struggling for straight line speed. Look at this. We're going to pull to the inside, so close, and we're just going to pull in front of him there and make the move. So very nice, easy overtake on Ricciardo, just about a slightly squeaky bum, but we've made the move nonetheless, and we're now into second place. But Raikkonen 13.8 up the road. Now that I've got his second times in front of me here on the left hand side, I can now see what our lap times and what our pace is like relative to his, and we can try and adequately respond to that if necessary. Okay, Raikkonen is staying out for one more lap here, so we've got to respond. He's going to the end of the race, and he's going to make just the one stop onto super softs. So the only way we're going to beat him this race is if we push like a madman and also undercut him right now, which is what we're doing, and hopefully come in for another set of super softs and then crank it up to rich mix and basically try and floor it. And we've been held up again by Ricciardo for the second race running. Damn it again, which isn't ideal. That's going to cost us some time, so that pretty might cost us all the undercut value, but we're going to push really hard on this outlap, and hopefully we can rejoin a little pocket of space, which is what we've got here, and rejoin just ahead of Carlos Sainz, I think. Hopefully, by the look of it, we just crank up to rich mix here, and there's Sainz. He's all over the back of me. I'm going to go into rich, actually defend from him. I've got no concern that he'll overtake me in the straight because it's a Renault power unit, so we should be okay. And there we go, we're going to stay ahead of Sainz now, so it's time to really push this lap and make the most of it before Raikkonen comes in. Alright, luckily Palmer's going to get out of my way beautifully there, and I think Raikkonen has done his stop, so Raikkonen has rejoined. Unfortunately, he's rejoined just in front of Lewis Hamilton, which isn't ideal. I've set a purple fastest final sector here, but it's not enough. I'm just going to keep pushing though and doing what I can, and you never know, it's never over until it's over. We've got 7 laps to go here, so we just got to keep pushing as hard as we can. Oh, we've got a Sauber stuck here. That's Verline who's had an issue. And Hamilton's come in, but Verline there stuck on the apex for some reason. I don't know what's happened there, but he might have had a problem with the car. Either way, we are going to go fastest. That's how fast we was going, that we've still managed to do a fastest lap, even with having to negotiate that extra chicane. But Raikkonen leads the way now. We're back into second place. And this is going to be a fight to the death. If Raikkonen sets a ridiculous lap now, we can pack up and go home and just settle for second place. But if we can keep on matching him, then we just got to keep fighting. Oh my god, that is a ridiculous lap. A 45.5. That is not going to get touched anytime soon. Raikkonen is dominating this race. He is the king of Spa for a reason, and that is incredible from him. I mean, those laps, if he starts pumping those in, I'm not going to be able to match that, and I'm on the absolute limit of what I've got right now. So wow, this is going to get really hard. I think Raikkonen might have just won this race. Also, I did mention at the start, because of the strategy exploit, that obviously if you start outside the top 10, you can get a better advantage here and actually cut out an entire pit stop, and Raikkonen's pulled that one off to a T. So that is very unfortunate. I mean, if I'd known he would have qualified outside the top 10, I would have qualified in Q2 on the super soft compound tyres, but who was I to know? Shit, back end, no, come on, going the right way, no, shit, I've overdone it, come on, turn around, right, I've got front wing damage, it's not good, but we're just going to have to try and nurse the car home. Oh no, come on, tyres, okay, I'm just burning my tyres up, this is not good. Alright, just, come on, let's try and nurse the car home. I've got front wing damage, I've got a lap and a half to go, just got to try and get back on the racetrack here, slowly, a little bit of contact there, the Palmer's just hit me there, giving himself front wing damage, but I've got pretty bad understeer, and my tyres feel like I'm driving on ice. This is not, I've thrown the race away with a lap and a half to go. I've just got to try and get the car home. I mean, if I can just get a couple of points, that's not too bad, but I might even struggle to do that. I've got just so much stuff on my tyres. I mean, look at the understeer. I just got no grip at all, and here comes Sainz up my inside. I'm going to just park my car in front of him and defend. Palmer's actually pulled off. Palmer's got an issue. I think he's got a puncture, so we're just going to go around the outside. He's got a right rear puncture, and all of a sudden this race just taken a mad turn right at the end, just from a little mistake that I've made. And I'm just trying to get the car home. The tyres seem to be better now. They've gotten the dirt off the tyres, but my front wing is just giving me chronic understeer, and we're going to have to try and nurse this one home. Here comes Sainz. He's going to fly past on my left hand side. I'm going to squeeze him a little bit, but it's no use. He's going to make the move, and now can I go flat out through here? Oh no, I can't. It's just too much. I'm asking too much of my car. I'm just going to have to slow down. I mean, luckily Palmer's retired, so it's going to give me a better chance of getting a point or two, but now Magnussen's out of the race. There's a yellow flag behind, and there's another yellow flag at turn 1 here, so yellow flags everywhere at the moment, but we're just trying to nurse this car home. And oh, Max Verstappen it is. It's Max Verstappen's out of the race on the last lap. What's going on? Everyone's retiring from the Grand Prix. I don't know what's happening now, but we've got Stroll, Hulkenberg. I think that's Sainz for company. So, not Sainz, sorry. I think that's Kvyat. But even if they pass me, I'll get a point. Oh, I just can't go flat out through there. I can't go flat out through there. The car's got no front end. And here comes Lance Stroll, DRS wide open here. Is he going to make the move? I'm going to go defensive slightly to the inside. Stroll's still going to commit to the inside though, but I've just... Oh, damn it. Oh. Right, so looking at the final race results, Raikkonen wins from P11 on the grid. Incredible recovery from the field from him, and he actually got 10-second time penalties accumulated. Also, Ricciardo and Vettel as well, so a few penalties handed out there for some of the top guys. And Ricciardo's penalty actually gives Lewis Hamilton second place, so that's a very good result for him there. And Ricciardo also incredible fight back through the field from the 12th place. Carlos Sainz also from P16, and also Lance Stroll and Kvyat all scoring points there. But as you can see, we scroll further down. The major news is that we've retired for the first time, I believe, in a long time. I think we've retired for the first time since like season 2 or something. It's not often that we retire from the race, but 4 retirements, and pretty much I think 3 of them coming in the last lap. So a crazy last lap here in Belgium. But in terms of the driver standings, that's going to mean that we do drop some points. And Raikkonen is now 28 points behind, Lewis Hamilton 65, and Vettel and Perez neck and neck, and 77 points behind a piece. But In terms of the constructors, our lead does get cut down to 40 points, but luckily we could afford to have a bad race because we had such a big points cushion, and that's the beauty of being so good. And in terms of having such a good season, first half of the season, that we can allow for a possible hiccup or a bad race here and there. But obviously the next time out, we do go to the Temple of Speed at Monza. But before we go there, we are going to go into the laptop and see if we purchase a possible upgrade. Okay, so going into Monza, we are going to purchase the cylinder head as an engine upgrade, and we're going to go for this one here, and that should arrive hopefully for the next race in Italy. And then after that upgrade has arrived, we are going to go and maybe get either this upgrade here or this upgrade here for the aero, because the aero, we are starting to fall behind a little bit now, and we do need to step it up a little bit. So the aero will be a focus point now for the remaining part of the season. But other than that, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode. If you have, then please do slap a like on the video. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and also please be sure to check out the links down below in the description for my Twitter, also previous episodes, playlist, and also do check out GT Omega. And if you use the code Tom97, you'll get a cheeky 5% discount at checkout. But other than that, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.